Just when I think that the foolishness can't get any worse. Just when I think that we are past certain conversations, things come and revive themselves. And then we realize that we are back at square one. Here we are, okay? So this woman tweeted that there is no difference between having relations with 36 men and having relations 36 times with one man. And I got to say to you, this time the comment section, they did not hold, they did not jam the brakes. They told this woman straight up that she don't have no sense, okay? And I think that one of the things that happens based off of us constantly hearing these conversations about relationships and, 50-50 and women and men and submissive and, leaders and all of these things is that it's given such an awareness to other people who may not have been following up with certain channels or conversations. And now when these things and these posts or tweets are on display, people who normally wouldn't even chime in or say anything are finally starting to call out the behavior and say, oh, this what y'all be talking about. Oh, this is what that one person was saying. Now I understand. Because in one breath, women are in a space where they're saying, oh, we the best and we're top tier and, men are beneath us. We're this, we're that. We the best thing since sliced bread. We could do better by ourselves. We don't need them. We're the ones, like I just found out the other day when that woman posted that, women are the nurturers, the providers, the leaders, the this, the that. Like women are everything and men are the afterthought, right? This is how a lot of women have, had these conversations and how they've displayed themselves. However, ironically, a lot of these women will say that, but then they go into ways that would demean themselves, that would lessen their value, that would, make them feel as though they're not worth anything. Like they say in one regard that they're so worthy of this, they're so worthy of that, they're queens, they're royalty, they're this, they're that. And then when you turn in the same breath, they're saying, yeah, but we can do whatever we want. And yeah, anybody can have access to us. And yeah, we can have anybody's child. And yeah, we can do all of these things. Which one is it? I would love to know which one is it. Because yes, there's a such thing as being multifaceted, but you see, when you're talking about giving access to people of yourself, there's no way that you think that you will be able to remain or sustain a certain level of, how would I put this? I would say the word value, but I think that people are going to take that the wrong way. So let me just break it down. Okay, let me just break down what I want to say instead of just saying stuff. Okay. Say for instance, for example, you buy a car. Okay. Let's say for instance, you buy a car. And, you go and when you check the Carfax, it says that it has one owner. And, there's no accidents, there's no this, there's no that. The car was well maintained. This person always got their oil changed. They maintained this car. You are going to feel comfortable purchasing this car, this used car, right? You would prefer it new off the lot. You would prefer it 100% new off the lot. But you say, okay, I will take this used car. I have no problem with taking this used car. It looks great. It's in pristine condition. It had one owner. Again, there's not too many miles on it. There's not too many miles on it. This person, they had good upkeep, no accidents, blah, 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 blah. Say, for instance, you go to the car lot and now you're buying a used car. And it says that there is about 36 owners to the one vehicle. The miles are, by the time you get this car. Okay. And this is such a good analogy. So stay with me. By the time you get this car, after the 36 owners that this car had, right? By the time you start to drive it, you start to realize that as you're driving it, there are certain imprints that are in the car because, as we know, when you drive a car, your car is customizable to you. So what do I mean by customizable? I mean that if somebody has a car and they have a certain weight, when they sit in the driver's seat, sometimes, especially if they're a little bit more heavy, the driver's seat will kind of conform to their body, right? If they are really rough on the steering, right? You might see some of the leather coming off of the steering wheel. You might see some thumbprints in the steering wheel. If, they are very rough with moving the gears, you might realize that when you're moving it, it's like extremely loose, right? This is just for an example, guys. So there's a certain customizations in the car, but by the time you get it after the 36th person has owned this car, you start to realize that you don't, there's so many things that happen with the car by memory that for you to try to take this car and try to mold it or customize it to you is not necessarily ideal. And the reason why it's not ideal is because the miles can't lie. Right? There's always something wrong with it. You got to take it to the shop. You got to deal with this problem. You got to deal with that problem. You didn't know it was going to come with this problem or that problem. And now you kind of have to dig it up and deal with it. It is very similar to that of the difference between being with one person 36 times and being with 36 different people one time. And the reason being is because there is going to be so much more emotional baggage attached to this situation. Because most of the time, when a woman has encountered multiple people and is used to the rotation or the newness of somebody, that is going to be a problem for her fidelity in her marriage or in her relationship. Because as soon as the butterflies go away, as soon as the comfortability comes in, as soon as, quote unquote, the dust settles, you start getting that itch for some newness. You want something new. You want something spontaneous. You want to try something different. You want to try something this. You want to try something that. Because you're so used to it. You're so used to the rotation. Another thing is, with so many people encountering you, it leads to the idea that it is not as special to you, the owner. So if it doesn't seem as special to you, because you see women who feel that it is special, they feel as though no one or not many people are going to have the opportunity to go there. But you see, if you allow anybody and everybody to go there, whether it's because you met him, because he's attractive, because he's this, because he's that, because, he's tall, or, he smelled good, which is very dangerous. Any woman who operates out of that, he fine. Oh, girl, I just got to try it. Any woman who operates off of that mindset is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous, especially for you in the future when you do want to be with somebody and when you do want to, quote unquote, settle down, because this is you will never be satisfied. You won't have the ability, because if 36 people can find their way to you without having to do much, because I doubt these 36 people was giving you the world on a platter. If they can do that and, receive you by doing not too much, it's going to be easy for you to step out. It's going to be easy for you to have that constant thing where you're constantly running around. I think that some people were there was a few people trying to justify the comment. And they're saying, oh, well, they're talking about, I guess, the actual, thought process of it, and, how often, or whatever the case is. The whole point is that, to be real, a man knowing that a woman has been with anybody is never going to 100% sit with him. Right? It's never going to be the most comfortable and wonderful thing. The same way that women will be talking to a man and they talking to him about a relationship he had when he was 12 years old, and the woman like, so you still remember her name? How you remember that? Like, it's the same thing, right? Because you get into a relationship, you love somebody, and you just can't fathom them having any experience prior to you, right? So it's never going to be 100% okay. But you see, obviously with mature minds, men are aware that, if you were in a relationship, a committed relationship, even a marriage, long-term relationship, and, you were just with this one person, somehow, some way, it is telling them that you have a certain demeanor about yourself, that you would prefer to be with one person. You have no problem with loyalty. You stay committed to one person. You're not out and about. You're not hopping from here, there, and there, and there. They are not going to ever fully be so happy about the situation, but they're going to be able to come to grips with the situation and say, well, she was loyal to him. She was with him for, however many years, blah, blah, blah. And, the least amount of miles, the better. You see, when a woman is having a conversation, and the thing is, a lot of women lie, right? We know that a lot of women do lie about this because they don't want to be judged by their past. But you see, the women who do actually come forth and tell the truth when they meet the one, and they tell him something and it's going to be something that's completely outrageous to him, it's not going to 100% sit well with him. It is going to add certain thoughts to his brain that would not be there if the number was less. Okay? And again, we know that women lie, but I'm just being real. I'm being really real about this conversation because I feel as though a lot of younger women get the information about body count very twisted and confused, and they strongly think it's about people trying to keep them bound or trying to keep them from doing whatever it is they want to do, and trying to make them feel like they can't be quote unquote liberated. I don't know the liberation in it, but they can't be liberated. But the truth is, the true point of you understanding that you should not be giving access to everybody is because at the end of the day, when you finally meet your person, you are going to have to deal with all of your past and your traumas and your dramas and your heartbreaks while you were in that relationship. The reason being, because you are now only bound to this one person. So that energy that you had just being liberated and being out there, you think it's just going to magically just disappear and go away? It's not. That's how resentment gets built. That's how infidelity happens. Because what you are training yourself to constantly do is going to be harder for you to break that. The older that you're getting, the more you're doing it, as often as you're out there, it's going to be way harder for you to form that emotional bond with somebody when when it has to be filtered through how many different people. The fact that this is even a conversation topic, or the fact that this was even something that somebody tweeted, to say, oh, there's no difference between, 100 and 100 is mind-blowing. I remember back in the day, women used to be so like, oh, no. It used to be something to boast about, like, oh, no, me? Everybody can't say they had me. Please. Now it's like if a woman is saying, oh, please, everybody can't say they had me. They're like, oh, she doesn't like women. She's a pick-me-sha. You know, she's a mammy. She's a pick-me, blah, 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 blah. You know, she thinks she better than everybody else. Girl, if you lame, just say that. It's crazy. My, oh my, how times have changed. I believe that a lot of women have a problem when people hold women to a certain standard, but then women turn around and try to hold men to this extremely high standard of what they should do, how they should be, how their past should be, how they should treat women, how they should serve women, what they should say, what they should look like, you know, their ideal job, how much money they should have in their bank account. But when anybody chooses to hold women to a certain standard, they're like, oh, no, not me. You better use that for somebody else. Don't use that for me. What, are you crazy? I know what I'm doing. You can't tell me how to be me. If you tell me how to be me, you're shaming me. It just shows that, you know, how many people are still thoroughly lost. thoroughly lost when it comes to these conversations. It's sad. If you think about it, truly, it's really sad because a lot of women are so confused. And don't just take it as younger women. Because there are women who are in their 40s and 50s and still have this mentality because they've never seen a different way and they don't know any different. They don't think it's a big deal. They're trying to figure out why the relationships are not working out, you know, why they don't have somebody, why they can't get married. Not knowing that they had a huge part to play with the situation based on their continual, you know, rotation that they had going on. Trying to be like the guys so bad. Oh, I could do what they could do. I could do this. I could do that. Trying to fill a void. But you're filled with emptiness. And you're still trying to fill it. We got to be honest. We got to be honest because young women with this mentality and our younger girls, they grow up looking at ways to turn, and it's so glorified to, you know, be with the 36, and it's so looked down upon to be with the one. Oh, don't be putting all your eggs in one basket. You know, don't be doing this, don't be doing that. It's so sad. Anyway, I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. I could go on and on about this topic, but I'm going to stop it right here. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.